G'day, Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again. Another Cape York video. This time we're here to talk about the road conditions and generally the feel for the joint up there in 2021. Going to start off by saying, I did mention in my last video, if you haven't seen that, it's up here somewhere. That way, we'll go that way. With regards to the roads, it's not a race to get up to the tip. So mind your speed. When you see a vehicle coming towards you, just slow down a little bit. Even 60 k's an hour is good. It stops covering them in rocks and stones and that massive thick dust as you pass, so it's not hazardous when they do pass. They don't end up with windscreens broken or stone chips all over their car, and the same goes for you. Extend the same courtesy. It works both ways. Just take your time. It's not a race to get to Cape York too. If you haven't seen, social media's over that way there, so if you want to message me, it's probably easiest on Facebook for me, chilling with Keithy there, but you can also get me on Instagram. You'll see a few photos in between what I do in these videos here. All right, so let's get on to what we're all here for, the road conditions for 2021. So I've only just got back. I've also got people up there now having a bit of a yarn and a look around Cape York. So let's get the roads for you so you know sort of what you're coming into. We're going to start with the Laura PDR section up to Musgrave Roadhouse. That road section is not too bad. There's a couple of bad corrugated sections and dips you've got to watch out for. Mostly light corrugations on that road, so that's not too bad. Then if you're coming up the other way, you come from Cooktown up the Battle Camp Road to the Musgrave Roadhouse via Lakefield National Park, you're in for a treat there because the Battle Camp Road is actually in really good condition. There's a couple of little crossings and little dips there to watch out for, but generally the road is really good there. Likewise, going up through Lakefield National Park, the road there is amazing. Usual story, you need to take caution. There are a couple of dips here and there, but the road itself is very, very good. I'd highly recommend taking that way if you can, and even stay in Lakefield. Make sure you book if you do stay in Lakefield National Park. The next section we've got Musgrave Roadhouse to Cowan, and that section's actually reasonably good. Just shy of Cowan, there's a couple of bad sections, but there is quite a lot of bitumen now as you enter Cowan and also as you exit Cowan. So after that, we head from Cowan up through the Archer River. Now that section is predominantly the worst section of the PDR that you're going to find, and it's lived up to its name. There are a lot of bad sections where you've got to weave and duck and go through these little creek crossings. The creeks aren't deep. You'll get a normal four-wheel drive through there, no worries, and a caravan. But they are rather corrugated coming in. Some of them you actually have to slow right down and sort of negotiate your way through. There are some big holes in a lot of those creeks leading up to the Archer River. Now, predominantly as you get closer to Archer River, usually there's a lot of dust holes, the big, massive ones that'll swallow a car. This year, they don't seem to be too many of them. They've done a great job with the roads, but that Cowan to Archer River stretch, I'd take it easy going through there because there are a lot of corrugations and a lot of hazards on the road. From the Archer River Roadhouse all the way up through to Weeper. So straight from the Archer, you've got about 60 kilometres from memory of bitumen, and then the dirt road the rest of the way to Weeper, and a couple of little bitumen stretches are actually in really good condition this year. Roads are going very well, traffic's flowing nicely. Again, make sure you watch your speed when you've got a car coming because you can do a little bit more speed on that road. It's in such good nick. You don't want to flick rocks and dust and all that up over the other cars. So if you've done Weeper, or even if you're not doing Weeper, you would turn off and head up past Batavia Downs on the Telegraph Road on your way up to the Bramwell Roadhouse. And that road is in really good condition. There are again a couple of little dips you've got to watch out for. Couple of sections that have got some bad corrugations, but it's not too bad all in all. It's actually, this year's probably the best I've ever seen those roads. Likewise, the Batavia Downs Road from Weeper that takes you out to the Telegraph Road, amazing drive. Again, closer to the Telegraph Road, towards the end of that road there are a couple of sections with some nasty little creeks that you've got to take your time going through, but generally the road's in good condition. So now you've got the telly track up from Bramwell Junction. Now the telly track, in my opinion, and I've been going there for about 20 years, is the worst I've ever seen it. So you've got your creek crossings. I'm not going to name them all, but Palm Creek, the main crossing to Palm Creek, usually I would do that. This year I had a trailer on, so I didn't take that one. I went up a couple hundred meters and took the chicken track, and I found no problems with that, but even the chicken track requires the locker. If you don't have a locker, you need a little bit more mumbo to get up it. Gunshot is the worst I have ever seen it, hands down. So the easy drop off near the steep ones is actually really bad. You need to take your time through there, pick your line. You can see a few people have done some track building, and then the track that I ended up taking, which we reopened, which was the chicken track on the lower section of Gunshot there, it's got deep sandy bits that will probably see you bogged. I got bogged in this thing, so take care through there. The rest of the crossings are not too bad on the southern section of the telly track. On the northern section of the telly track, you've got a bypass now around Scrubby Creek, so you can't even really drive through that now. They don't maintain that. You go up and around, and then you go to Scrubby Creek, and then you've got your falls everywhere along there. The Canal Creek's not too bad. It's a little bit deeper this year, obviously with the late wet season. Sam Creek and Nolan's especially. Nolan's is very bad this year. It's claimed quite a lot of cars. If you've been looking on the Facebook pages there, you'll see a few horror stories from that. So that's the telly track in general. A little bit of a sum up. If you do the bypass road around the telly track, that road is, I would say it's the best it's ever been, but it's not really that glorious. You've got a straight section from Bramwell Junction that's in good condition, and then you start to get in a lot of heavy corrugated sections. You'll have a bit of a breather for a while, bit of bitumen. On the northern half, it's actually probably the worst. The closer you get to the Jardine Ferry, the worse the road gets. So from the Jardine River up to Bamaga, the road's actually really good. It's lightly corrugated most of the way. There's a couple of sections where there are bad corrugations, but they're not extreme. Same again, just take your time, slow down if you need to, let your tyres down and keep the speeds down if you do. The road from Bamaga up to the tip, again, it's not too bad. Take your time. It is speed limited now. There's a 40k sign on there, so just take your time going through there. Have a bit of a look on the way. Don't forget to have a look at the old Pajinka Resort as you go through, and enjoy your trip. So big things to come from this, guys. Keep your speeds down. If you see cars coming, slow down. About 60 k's an hour. I know it's a pain in the ass, but I tell you what, they're going to appreciate it, and so are you when they don't flick stones up. Because if they can see that you're not slowing down to let them come past you, they're going to keep going quick. So if they can see you've dropped the dust for them, they're going to return the favour, guys. And not everyone's that bright and actually happy to help out there, but you can do your part in stopping stone chips, especially on your car. Do your thing. So if you've got your trip booked, it's very, very busy up there this year. The Cape is very, very busy. Obviously school holidays right now, but not only that, the fact that overseas travel is pretty limited. Everyone's gone and bought themselves a trailer and wants to head up to Cape York. So if you are going up and you're in a group of 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, however many, definitely pays to book. If you're on your own, I think you'd be right to wing it, but never hurts to call up yourself. You can ring all of these places quite easily. The school holidays are coming to an end very shortly. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think you'll see that things will start to quieten down a little bit, and bookings will be easier to get sort of in that late July, sort of through August region. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks very much. Don't forget to subscribe, do all that. And if you want to contact me over there, I did it earlier. I'm not going to do it again. I'll just pretend it's up there. On the Facebook, you'll get a message. It's probably the easiest way to message me. And the Instagram, if you want to see what's happening in between these videos. Otherwise, stay tuned. I've got my actual Cape York video coming up very soon. A lot of editing in that one this year. It could even be a multi-part video, I think. Anyway, take it easy. Enjoy your Cape trip, guys. Stay safe and go enjoy your trip.